For 120 years, CUTA has been at the heart of Canada's transit journey, shaping cities, connecting people, and evolving with every milestone. Our story begins in 1904 with the founding of the Canadian Street Railway Association in Montreal. We invite you to journey through 120 years of key milestones in Canadian public transit history. The rise of electric railways in the late 19th century transformed public transit. In 1908, Edmonton's Radial Railway became North America's northernmost streetcar system, a title it still holds today. With the completion of the National Transcontinental Railway in 1913 and the Grand Trunk Pacific Railway in 1914, Canada became more connected. In 1915, the Canadian Northern Railway completed its transcontinental route with the last spike at Basque, BC. In 1919, the Order of Sleeping Car Porters became North America's first black railway union, marking a pivotal moment in labor history. In 1920, CUTA opened its doors to municipalities and suppliers, fostering collaboration and innovation across the industry. In 1922, rubber-tired electric trolley coaches in Windsor and Toronto combined the best of streetcar and bus transportation. The Toronto Transportation Commission took over private and municipally owned street railway companies, while private transit systems continued in cities like Halifax, Winnipeg, and Vancouver well into the 1950s. The Great Depression saw the rise of asphalt roads, integrating motor buses into urban transit systems. As Canada faced the challenges of World War II, urban transit evolved in the shadow of economic hardship and global conflict. The 1936 Transport Act established Canada's first federal Department of Transport, laying the foundation for modern transportation governance. At CUTA's 1942 annual meeting in Toronto, members emphasized the critical role of public transit in supporting the war effort. Agencies launched a campaign to ease rush-hour transit for essential war workers, urging the public to avoid peak time travel. The post-war era brought new challenges to urban transit, with cities struggling to manage traffic congestion. CUTA's 1945 meeting focused on post-war issues like overcrowding and the industry's evolving needs. In 1954, Toronto celebrated a historic milestone with the opening of Canada's first subway line, which set the stage for the future of urban transit development. As urban congestion grew, cities expanded bus routes, introduced subways, light rail, and enhanced pedestrian and cycling paths, fostering more connected urban environments. In 1958, the British Columbia Ferry Authority was established, transforming maritime transportation between islands and the mainland. Montreal's Metro opened in 1966, just in time for Expo 67, with its uniquely artistic design becoming a cultural symbol of innovation. After major fires in 1971 and 1974, Montreal's Metro introduced over 1,000 water stations and robust emergency protocols that continue to protect passengers today. Montreal's Green Line extension for the 1976 Olympics showcased transit's role in city building. In 1977, Vancouver introduced the C-Bus, offering a modern way to cross the harbor. In 1981, Halifax Transit began offering Access a Bus, a dial-a-ride paratransit service. In the early to mid-1980s, the Toronto Transit Commission extended its subway lines to Kipling and Kennedy stations, improving citywide connectivity. Expo 86 saw the debut of Vancouver's SkyTrain, a now world-renowned fully automated rapid transit system. Calgary's C-Train expanded to the University of Calgary for the 1988 Winter Olympics, demonstrating transit's critical role in large-scale events. In 1990, CUTA hosted the National Bus Rodeo in Calgary, highlighting the industry's evolving expertise and skill. Victoria, BC introduced North America's first low-floor double-deck buses in 2000, while 2002 saw the launch of Toronto's Shepherd subway line, expanding subway access across the city. The city of Kelowna made history in 2005 by rolling out Canada's first production hybrid buses, signaling a shift toward more sustainable public transit. TransLink's Compass Card in 2005 and Metrolink's Presto in 2007 modernized fare systems, making transit more accessible. The push for greener transit took center stage during the 2010 Winter Olympics, when Whistler unveiled the world's largest hydrogen fuel cell fleet. By the 2010s, cities like Toronto and Vancouver committed to electrifying their fleets, marking a critical step toward zero-emission public transit. In 2019, Ottawa launched the O-Train Confederation line, adding a new layer of connectivity to the nation's capital. COVID-19 brought significant changes, with agencies across Canada quickly adopting enhanced sanitation, contactless payment, and ridership adjustments to ensure safety. CUTA was instrumental in securing emergency operating funding from federal and provincial governments to support transit systems during the pandemic. Construction of Toronto's Ontario line began in 2020, with plans for automated high-frequency service upon its 2030 completion. CUTA continues to lead by advocating for the Canada Public Transit Fund, a $30 billion federal initiative to support infrastructure and sustainable growth. As we celebrate 120 years, CUTA remains steadfast in our mission to drive the future of Canadian transit, sustainable, connected, and ready for tomorrow.